Hi, this is Greg with Northern Audio and back with another edition of What's in My Collection. So today we're going to do the funky edition. So I have a couple records I brought in from my collection. If you know me, you know I'm a big funk guy. I certainly love the old funk and soul records were recorded really well. That's why a lot of them are hard to find at this point. But I wanted to share with you a couple out of my collection that I use for demoing that sounds great, but also gets the foot tapping as well. So first up, Roy Ayers, if you know who he is, back from the '70s, but he did a collection called the Ubiquity Collection, and on here some wonderful songs. Liquid Love. I can't remember the name of the other one. Funk in the Hole. So if you can go check those two songs out on digital, you'll see what I mean. They sound wonderful on that as well. But they did do this on a vinyl record, I said, and this is definitely demo quality. Has that driving bass to it, real large sound stage, very holographic and etched type high frequencies, like when they do chimes and things of that nature. So there's a lot of stuff bouncing around the sound stage. And again, just great music, real groovy. So that's one worthy. One of my all-time favorite records. So Brick, Good High. Specifically, and if you know the song Daz, which is disco jazz, if you didn't know that. But that song there to me is one of the best sounding funk songs out there, especially recording wise, especially in the middle of the song when they start going into all the percussion and you have the flute that goes across the sound stage. We've used this as a demo record in the store. You can still find this on Discogs. It's not very difficult to get. That being said, it is getting a little pricey, 20, $30, but again, obtainable. Great demo record, great music. If you don't know them as a musician, Brick, they were actually classically trained. So they're one of the best funk artists out there. If you don't know them, give them a listen, particularly this record. So next up, in the groovy section, you got the JBs doing it to death, but specifically, this is the Japanese version, all done off the original analog tape. The sound stage is that very black background to it. Japanese vinyl is known for that. So because of that, you have a lot of space in between the instruments. You get that kind of standing in the room effect when you're listening to it. It frames the room that they were recording in very well. It's just one of those. It's kind of like spending a night with the JBs. So if you like funk music, this is a great album. This particular version, Green Obi, was the original analog tapes. This one is definitely worth chasing down. Sure, it's a few $100s, but again, like I said, the best version of it, in my opinion. Um, Next up, if anyone knows Third World, this is their very first album, Third World from there. It's reggae music. But this is Man, this is one of the best recorded reggae albums out there. The way that the album opens, and it's a very melodic, it's a very just kind of sweeps you away. But if you ever heard of what I kind of compare it to, if you ever heard of Enya, now I know that's off topic, not the same artist, but like Caribbean Blue and what those her songs, how they have that real big sound stage, it has that effect to it, but done with reggae music. It's a great record, great music from beginning to end. And like I said, the sonic quality of it is just ridiculous. So definitely demo quality. Next up, Tommy Guerrero may have seen this record out there. This particular one, what pretty blank on the inside. But that being said, the record itself has a real dark, brooding, driving type bass to it. It's a good exercise for woofers, especially if you have Klipschorns, something that can handle that type of bass line and that type of drive and kick drum to it. Again, great music, really good sound stage to it, but really where the story's at with that is the bass in it, and the way that it really has a drive to it, and in a lot of air to it, the way that it's presented. It's a really, really good record overall, music wise too. So it's another one that you just put it on, let it play, but worthy of hunting down for sure. Um, Lonnie Liston Smith, we have a couple records up on these guys. I wish they would repress these, but Visions of the New World, another one of those really, really good, solid record from beginning to end. It's a let it play, just put it on. But that is the sonic quality of it. You have a lot of different high frequency type instrumentation in it. They do a really good job of sound staging. You could certainly tell it was on analog tape. And like I said, it's just, again, really good music overall. You may have anywhere from, 10, 11 instruments at any one time playing. So the sound stage is real engaging, deep, wide. It's kind of everything you ask for in a demo quality record. So Visions of a New World, certainly worth hunting down that one. And then Expansions is the other one that, again, I wish they would repress this guy. But, has the same exact qualities of the one I just mentioned. Great music from beginning to end. Most of it's instrumental. But, that's really, if you're looking for demo quality records, in my opinion, those are probably better to just kind of let play. So these two records here, certainly ones to put in your collection if you can hunt them down on Discogs. Shouldn't be that expensive. So along the lines of groovy, we'll show you some reel-to-reel tapes. This guy here, 7.5 IPS. This is using the Dolby system. This is George Benson Breeze, and I'm sure a lot of people recognize this one. So to me, this is by far the definitive version of it on reel-to-reel tape. It just has that analog sound to it. The percussion of it is extremely realistic sounding, which, in my opinion, that kind of brings on the rest of the engagement of the sound stage when you fix the percussion. So this is a really, really good demo quality reel-to-reel tape. You do see it come up occasionally on Discogs, usually a few $100s, but certainly worth pulling the trigger on. And a lot of folks know this album too, so it's something they'll be familiar with. But it'll certainly be the best version of they ever heard. So, and then on the lines of funk, who can forget Shaft? So obviously, the movie Shaft, and done by Isaac Hayes, the soundtrack. If you don't know who Isaac Hayes is, A Hot Buttered Soul, start there. That's probably his magnum opus, if you will. And another fun thing to do when you listen to that record, don't look at what year it was actually made until you're done listening to it. So that guy, Isaac Hayes, he did the soundtrack for Shaft. This on reel-to-reel tape, it's funk soul, so lots of, bass line grooves. And, again, on analog tape percussion, that really brings that out. So, in my opinion, this is probably the best version of Shaft, that you'll see out there. Again, 7.5 IPS, 4-track. So for last but not least, sticking with some different media, War All Day Music, but specifically, this is the gold collection. They did a 24 karat gold disc, 20-bit mastering. So this guy here, if you're looking to get some CDs that are really, really good sounding, this one I certainly can approve of here. Of course, I like War, but this album has some great songs on it. This version of it has a very analog sound to it. There's no edginess, no splashiness on the cymbals. Sometimes you'll see that in more CDs that are repressed. Not here. Certainly a good CD to throw on and just let play, but demo quality as well, has the sound staging you would expect. So that kind of wraps up the funk edition. Hopefully that gives you some ideas, or if in fact gives you some conviction to buy some of the pricier things you may have seen online. I can vouch for these guys. They're ones that I show often. So we'll be back again with some more. And again, thanks for listening to the music.